Let's be honest, the anxiety around AI and our jobs it's everywhere. But what if I told you that this feeling, this uncertainty, isn't new at all? It turns out history offers a fascinating and, a surprisingly comforting guide for what's probably going to happen next.
So, this is the big one, isn't it? It's the question on literally everyone's mind. Is my job, my whole career, everything I've built, about to be made obsolete by an algorithm? And you know what? That is a totally valid fear.
But here's the thing. When you actually look back at how we've handled these world-changing technologies before, the answer isn't that simple story of replacement that we all kind of expect. It's actually something way more interesting. Okay, so to really get a handle on AI's future, we're going to go back to the 1970s and right into the kitchen. I think the best analogy for what's happening right now is the humble microwave and its relationship with a good old stovetop. Just think about it for a second. When the microwave first showed up, people were worried it was the end of real cooking. But it wasn't, was it? No. It found its own perfect little niche. The microwave is fantastic for reheating leftovers, defrosting something in a hurry, tasks where speed is everything. But if you want to sear a steak to get that perfect crust or simmer a sauce for hours to build those deep, complex flavors, you're still going to the stovetop. One didn't kill the other. They became partners in the kitchen. And that right there, that's the perfect model for AI at work. Our AI assistants are becoming our microwaves. They're great at the quick, repetitive stuff, like churning out boilerplate code or whipping up a first draft of an email. And that frees us up, the human workers, to do the sophisticated stovetop work, designing the high-level architecture, tackling creative problems, and using our judgment to make big strategic calls. Now, what's really cool is that this microwave and stove dynamic, it's not a one-off. It's actually part of this very clear repeating pattern we see all through history where new tech augments what we can do instead of just replacing us.
We've been here before. These waves of transformation just keep coming. We had the typewriter back in the 1870s, then word processors about a century later, and now here we are with generative AI. Each one totally changed how we work, but let's look at what actually happened. So, the key takeaway is this. The initial fear almost never matches the final result. People genuinely worry the typewriter would strip all the character out of writing. Instead, it created an entirely new job category, the typist, and let businesses communicate at scale. Or think about something simpler, like the air fryer. It didn't replace your oven, right? It just gave you a new way to get crispy food with less oil. And look at AI chatbots today. They haven't wiped out customer service. They've just split the work. The bots handle the easy stuff like, I forgot my password, which frees up the human agents for the really tricky problems that need empathy and, well, a human brain. Okay, so if this pattern is so clear, why does using AI right now sometimes feel, well, a little clunky, a bit imperfect? It's because we're living through a very predictable and totally temporary phase of how technology gets adopted. We're in the age of intermediary technology. Remember the dot matrix printer? Oh man, it was so loud, so slow, and the quality was not great. But it was that essential, messy bridge between the typewriter and the sleek laser printers we have now. It solved one immediate problem, getting words from a screen onto paper. And that's exactly where a lot of our AI tools are today. And this is why we're seeing these human-in-the-loop workflows pop up everywhere. It's become this kind of dance. AI generates a first pass, and a human comes in to refine and edit it, or AI spots a pattern in a gigantic data set, and a human interprets what that pattern actually means for the business. We're learning how to partner with these tools, letting them do the heavy lifting so we can apply our uniquely human skills, like judgment and creativity. Once you see this pattern, you can shift your whole mindset. If the future isn't about replacement but about partnership, then the most important skill isn't about trying to outrun AI. It's about learning to orchestrate it. This quote it nails it. The future isn't human versus machine. It's about being the professional who can manage a whole toolkit of resources, some human, some AI, and know exactly which one to use for each part of the job. And this partnership idea isn't some far-off theory. It's already happening all over the place. In marketing, an AI can brainstorm 100 campaign slogans in a minute, but a human refines the strategy. In medicine, an AI might analyze an X-ray for anomalies, but the doctor is the one who manages the patient's overall care. From law to the creative arts, the pattern is the same. AI does a task, and a human provides the critical context, judgment, and direction. So,
All of this brings us to what the real AI revolution is all about. And spoiler alert, it's not really about the tech itself. It's about how it's going to reshape our work, our roles, and ultimately our potential. This is the number one lesson from all of technological history. The typewriter didn't just make handwriting obsolete, it created the entire profession of the administrative assistant. Social media didn't exist, and then boom, suddenly we needed social media managers. Technology always reshuffles the deck. And we are seeing it happen with AI right now in real time. Brand new jobs are popping up that we couldn't have even imagined a few years ago. You've got prompt engineers, who are basically experts at talking to AI. You've got AI trainers, who help make the models better. And you have AI ethicists, whose job is to make sure we use all this power responsibly. So if you remember one thing from this, let it be this. The true revolution of AI isn't replacement, it's elevation. By taking over the routine, the repetitive, the time-consuming stuff, the reheating, AI is freeing up our time and brain power for the more complex, creative, and meaningful work that only we can do. So the question I want to leave you with isn't a fearful one, it's an active one. It's not if your job will change, it will. The real question is, how are you going to become the orchestrator? How will you learn to blend your unique human skills with these incredible new tools to do the best work of your life?